Welcome back to Crowned, a Smell Baseball podcast, Season 1, where we dig deep into the smoke, dust, and glory of baseball's earliest crownings. I'm your host, Mr. Baseball. Today, we step into a time machine back to the most surgical World Series ever played. The year was 1905. 5 games, 5 shutouts, 1 silent masterpiece. This wasn't just baseball. It was baseball in black and white, written in ink and carved in stone. Let's talk Hall of Famers, because this series, it was stacked. Christy Mathewson, Joe McGinnity, Charles Bender, Eddie Plank, Roger Bresnahan, Rube Waddell, John McGraw, Connie Mack. A lineup so rich Cooperstown should have just set up shop behind home plate. The New York Giants, brash, battle-tested, and still licking their pride after sitting out the 1904 series. They were led by firebrand John McGraw, a future Hall of Fame manager whose scrappy genius changed the game. The Philadelphia Athletics were steered by the opposite, the reserved, cerebral Connie Mack, also a Hall of Famer and the longest-serving manager in baseball history. But strategy was only part of the story. The Giants came in at 105 wins and 48 losses. The A's at 92 and 56. These weren't flukes. These were machines. Now let's talk pitching. All 5 games of this World Series were shutouts. The Giants won 4. All 4 were complete game goose eggs. Even the Athletics' lone win, Game 2, was a shutout. And the man behind the masterpiece, Christy Mathewson. 3 games, 3 shutouts, 27 innings, 0 runs, 0 walks, 18 strikeouts. If you're building the Mount Rushmore of World Series pitching, he's Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Jefferson. And behind the plate, the man calling every pitch, absorbing every foul tip, and framing every Mathewson masterpiece, Roger Bresnahan, future Hall of Famer and one of the first true modern catchers. Bresnahan didn't just catch the game, he shaped it. And in this series, his brain was as crucial as Matty's arm. But the Athletics had their own hero. In Game 2, 21-year-old Charles Bender, Ojibwe, stoic, brilliant, threw a complete game shutout to beat the mighty Giants. Newspapers called him Chief, a nickname he didn't choose and didn't welcome, but Bender let his arm speak. That win, it was more than a box score. It was a statement, one that echoed all the way to his Hall of Fame induction decades later. Meanwhile, Joe McGinnity, the Giants' Iron Man, and another Hall of Famer dealt a shutout in Game 4, hammering home the point. This staff was a fortress. Now about the ghost of this series, Rube Waddell, Hall of Famer and ace of the A's. He didn't pitch. Why? Theories range from injury to clubhouse clashes. No one knows for sure. But what we do know is that without Waddell, the A's were undermanned. Even with Eddie Plank and Bender, they couldn't crack New York's shell. Let's not forget the managers. McGraw and Mack, one fiery, the other cool. One a shortstop turned brawler, the other a catcher turned owner. Both revolutionized the game, both wore suits longer than cleats, and both immortalized in bronze at the Hall of Fame. This series wasn't flashy. No dramatic walk-offs, no slugfests. What it had was discipline, control, dominance. Mathewson with the scalpel, Bender with the fire, McGinnity with the hammer, Bresnahan with the chessboard, and McGraw and Mack behind the curtain pulling all the strings. In 1905, baseball remembered what it could be, a stage for greatness, a canvas for silence, a crown carved by the hand of precision. This was the series of shutouts. This was the series of legends. This was 1905. And this is Crowned, a Smell Baseball podcast. I'm Mr. Baseball. Join us next time for another dusty diamond, another smell of glory.